Most Christians think the idea of hell as eternal torture has always been what the church taught, but that's not true. Before Augustine in the 300s, most early Christians actually leaned towards something else called apokatastasis, a Greek word meaning the restoration of all things. Today, we'd call it Christian universalism or universal reconciliation through Jesus Christ. I'll just call it universal reconciliation for short. It's the belief that God's love will ultimately heal and restore everyone through what was accomplished on the cross when God sent his Son to defeat sin and death once and for all. Judgment is real, but it's not the final word. In the end, every person will be brought back into right relationship with God, as God desires. Even Augustine himself admitted in his Enchiridion.
We are looking at how to pronounce this name, this biblical name. How do you say it? Enchiridion. Enchiridion. Easy. Enchiridion. And now you know.
Even Augustine himself admitted in his Enchiridion, chapter 112, that most believers and even church leaders in his day held this view of eventual restoration. Some of the greatest early fathers leaned this way. Origen taught it. Gregory of Nyssa, a key figure at the Council of Nicaea, where they wrote the Nicene Creed, leaned universalist too. Others believed in conditional immortality, that the wicked don't suffer forever but eventually cease to exist. Justin Martyr and Theophilus of Antioch spoke about this. And yes, some did believe in eternal conscious torment. But back then, they meant literal fire. Tertullian said the wicked will burn forever, and even claimed the righteous would get to watch. Over time, though, theologians began to soften that, because the idea of God burning people alive endlessly was hard to defend, morally or philosophically. Then came Augustine, who locked eternal torment in as tradition for the Western Church. But here's the problem. Augustine didn't know Hebrew or Greek, and he admitted he didn't care to learn them. His theology came from Latin translation, not the original scriptures. Now, the purpose of saying all this isn't to tell you what to believe. It's to point out that what we now call the traditional view wasn't always the majority view. And yet today, we often rebuke or label anyone who sees it differently as unbiblical or even heretical. But both universal reconciliation and conditional immortality are not only biblically grounded, they were more widely accepted in the earliest centuries of the church than the idea of endless torment ever was. So maybe it's time to step back, open our eyes, and actually reread the text, not through the lens of endless conscious torment, but with a clear heart and an open mind. Forget what we've been taught for a minute and see where the Spirit leads you this time around. Because the God who said, "Behold, I make all things new," might just want to make our understanding new too. Thank you for listening. God bless.